talk about how to protect yourself as a black woman. I also forgot to say, put on here, I want to talk about black women and also sharpening their discernment because, oh, thanks for watching, Lena. If you work on sharpening your discernment as a black woman, you can really protect yourself from a lot of things. So, yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. Protecting yourself as a black woman. Why are BMs so quick to buck up against a black woman but never anyone else? I just saw a video of some young black girls. I don't know, they look to be like somewhere from the age range of like 19 to like 22. And these guys were trying to talk to them and they weren't on it. And so one of the guy got out of the car and called them B's and 304s and threatened to beat them up. He said, I slapped B words, and they were scared. And this is exactly what I mean when I say that black women and black girls, we've got to be taught to protect ourselves. Like they were sitting there looking at him like, why are you attempting or threatening to put your hands on a woman? But these young black girls, I think that we as black women aren't doing a good enough job of letting them know that men don't have a problem smacking a woman, unaliving a woman, putting hands on a woman, calling her out of her name and making aggressive moves. They don't have and this isn't to say that other races of men don't have these same issues, because they do. But I'm just gonna talk about it from a black lens today. I think that it should be known right now in the black community that a large percentage of black men and black boys, first of all, aren't raised to have any respect for black women, okay, at all, or black girls, and that they have no problem putting their hands on women in any way. You say something crazy, they'll put their hands on you. Turn them down and you say you don't want to be with them, they'll put their hands on you. Like all of these things are very prevalent in the black community. The lack of respect. Look at the music. Look at the genre of music that black men created and put out to the world. So it's like we've got to inform young black girls that when you get in these streets, you can't be playing games with these young black men, these 18, 19, 20-year-old black men, black boys, whatever you want to call them. They will put their hands on you. I done seen plenty of little black girls in high school. The black boys is 15, 16. They don't have no problem punching these girls in the mouth because they were never raised with any type of, oh, I respect women, I respect girls, I respect the feminine. So you have to move like you're dealing with the savage. Hey, how you doing, Zora? Hey, how you doing, sis? And I think that that's very important to talk about, like honesty. And I think the best way to talk about this to get like black girls and black women to know that they need to protect themselves is by making sure, hey, that you tell them they need to protect themselves. You need to take your daughter to the pew pew range. You need to, when your daughter turns 18, you need to get her a pew pew. Even if it's not a big one, even if it's a real small one that she keeps in her bag or she keeps in a holster on her body. Because I have a pew pew that there's one that I keep in a crossbody. It's one that I keep on my body. You know what I'm saying? A concealed holster is what I have that sticks close to my body. That way nobody knows, and you cannot see it with my shirt on with a baby tee on. I normally wear like fitted tees, anime tees, stuff like that when I go outside. No one knows that it's on there unless I have to pull it. And the only time I'm pulling it is if I'm going to use it. So that's something we need to talk about. Let me see what this person has to say. Eris, you had something to say? Let me start your timer, sis.
Yeah, they definitely will hit. They definitely will square up with girls. You're exactly right. They definitely will. I've seen it myself. A little 17-year-old boy squared up with a 14-year-old because she told him no. He told him no, and she told him she didn't want to be involved with him. I seen it personally, and I intervened because he drew his hand back like he was going to hit her, and not on my fucking watch. You're not about to hit her. No, sir. I will get you together right quick. Because what you're not going to do is put your hands on a woman in my presence. I don't care how old the girl or the woman is. And he was like, well, she's disrespecting me. I said, disrespecting you how? Just because? So she said no. That's how she's disrespectful. then I guess I'll take it. But she doesn't have to go with you. She doesn't have to talk to you. She doesn't have to do nothing with you. It's called consent. Have you ever heard of that before? And then he got mad and stormed off. And I said that would be a wise decision. Storm off because hitting her is not going to happen in my presence. And then definitely don't trust any men of any race. I agree with that too, especially the ones of our race, the black race, because they be on some weird timing. The black men and white men, especially, are red flags for me. So that's pretty much it. If you want to go ahead and go and
All right. I got you. I got you, Eris. I appreciate you, sis. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. And I really do think that the problem is that I do believe a lot of black women still move in this world as if black men have some type of moral compass, black men and black boys. And unfortunately, the majority of them do not. They're if you hear all the time, they're constantly comparing themselves to women. Oh, so you think I'm supposed to take you out? Why you can't take me out? You think I'm supposed to go to work every day? You don't think that you're supposed to go to work every day? Do you think that I don't care that you had a baby and you had this and that? You're supposed to do exactly what I do because they look at themselves on the exact same level as a woman, on the exact same level. So if the men in our community think of themselves on the same level as women, what does that tell you? That means that they're also going to treat you like they're on the same level physically. When it comes to laying hands, when it comes to disrespecting, things like that. If you notice, anytime you talk to black men about like money or finances, they always compare themselves to women, black women. They never compare themselves to men, other men in the community. They never compare themselves to white men or Asian men or Hispanic men. It's always when black women they are comparing themselves to. So that should let you know that they think that they're on the same level as a woman. So since that's the case, and that means that when you're getting into it, they're not going to see any problem with fighting you like you're on the same level as them. Even though you're not, even though there is a strength differential there, they're not going to see that because they don't see that. When they see you, they see a man just like they look in the mirror and see one. And that's actually sad. Or depending on how you want to look at it, when they look in the mirror, they see a woman and just like when they look at you, they see a woman. Like, so however you want to look at it, whether you think that they see that they view themselves as women or they view themselves as men and you as one, whatever the case may be, is that they believe that they're on the equal playing field as you, which is why you have got, I really want black women to understand that it is imperative. It is imperative that you raise your daughters to understand this thing. You cannot sit there and expect to tell your daughter that, oh, he's not supposed to hit a woman. Oh, he's not supposed to get in a woman and cuss her out and smack her face. He will do all of those things, which is why, and if you're in a place where you cannot have a pew pew, then you need to make sure that you have other things, that you need to have you some spray, if you get what I'm saying. So when things get hectic, it needs to be one of those ones that are is very stealthily hidden. You don't know what it is, and you need to know how to use it and whip it out and spray it all in his eyeballs and make a quick escape. Or you need to give yourself some space, back up a few steps. If things are getting to the point to where you feel like you need to preserve your life and he's already, you know what I'm saying? And you know what you need to do, click boom. And I also need you guys to know when it comes to self-defense, when it comes to men, like now, if you are getting into it with a woman and you use deadly force, there has to be a clear reason why. When a man is coming to you, trying to put his hands on you, trying to do these things, because men are so much stronger, the man himself is considered a weapon. So if you defend yourself and he was coming towards you, most of the time that's going to be an easy way to get away with doing what you got to do. So I really want y'all to know, like, honestly, we've got to work on, and that's what, when my husband and I took our self-defense courses and all of that stuff, we did one with the police officer and he told us all of this stuff. So I just want y'all to know, like, Black women, black girls, y'all have got to be telling this to your children, to your daughters. Do not sit there and expect for these young black men to be protectors or to have respect for women. Cause they not gonna do it. Don't expect that, oh, he not gonna cuss you out and call you out your name because you're a girl. Don't expect that he's not gonna attempt to knock your teeth out because you're a girl and he knows better than that. He doesn't know better than that. He doesn't. And what's unfortunate is that, black men, older black men, elder black men, they're one of the main ones pushing this narrative of thinking that it's okay. Oh, watch your mouth, how you talk to a man. I should be able to knock your teeth in. But also, which is a dirty little secret, their mothers are doing the same thing. I wouldn't mind if my son put his hands on a woman. She shouldn't have been talking to my son crazy. She shouldn't have been doing that. Like, okay. Like, so it's also mothers, black grandmothers, sisters, and doing this. You know what I'm saying as well? Telling these men that. So all I'm saying is that it's very important right now because honestly, when I saw this video that I saw today of this black man, young black man, he couldn't be no more than 22, getting out and telling a group of girls that he smacks B words and running up on them like he was running up on a man and watching them be scared. That is crazy. Those girls were completely unequipped, or completely ill-equipped to help themselves. Let's see here. KJ, Kenny Cakes, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I really, what are you talking about? Segregation? Didn't white tea people do segregation first? So shut up and get your goofy butt out my chat. Let me block you. All right. So anyway, yeah, I really wanted to be clear here. And somebody named Shabir said that's not all black men, though. I really hate it when y'all come in and y'all say goofy things like that. Who said it was all black men? But I know the majority of y'all, even if it's not y'all are not going to step in and do anything. You're going to watch that black girl or black woman get smacked up, get hurt, get harmed, and say, oh, I don't know her. So once again, at the end of the day, black women and black girls need to protect themselves. So what's your goal here in saying what you're saying? Anyway, like I said, and then somebody spoke on number 6. Do you know that over this past week, it's not even Wednesday yet, it's Tuesday. So from Monday to today, I have seen 4 black women that were unalived by meeting. I don't have to say some black men. I don't have to specify. Who the fuck are you? I don't have to specify nothing. How about this? It's you too, Sabir. Well, what's wrong with you? I don't gotta specify nothing. Y'all be so entitled, bro, and delusional. Like, get out of here. Somebody said misandrous question mark. You know what? I wish that men would understand that when you call a woman a misandrous, it is just like when white people call black people racist. You know how it doesn't hit? Like nobody cares when a white person calls you racist because literally what have they done like historically so nobody cares? It's the same when men call women misandrous. It's like, what are you talking about? You guys literally are the most violent, have done the majority of all crazy things across the globe historically for thousands of years. So exactly what do you think calling me a misandrous mean? It means absolutely nothing at all. I really wish I would understand that. Calling me a misandrous means nothing at all. Nothing at all. But anyway, like I said, let me go ahead and move forward. And I want to talk about the number 6. Okay. Today is Tuesday. I have seen 5 stories of young black women that have met white men on dating apps that were unalived by them. One girl was dismembered and stuffed into an attic. Another girl was found in after several months in a wooded area, her bones, and the other 2, their bodies were found not too long later. So I want you to know that I know we like to talk about, dating interracially, and that's not a problem. But I want you to know that to the majority, let me block you, Brad, you little snow roach, you little ugly PDF file. All right, let me block you. As I was saying, when you're talking to these white tea men, I want you to know that a lot of them, the majority of them are racist. I think that we all know that, correct? So when you are online and people can look you up by your race, by what you look like, all of these things, some of those men that want to unalive black women specifically that are racist, they prey on black women online. And I really do believe that if you're a black woman, you shouldn't be meeting white tea men on dating apps. You really shouldn't be meeting no men. But I definitely, with the extra component of black people right now getting strange fruited and all of this other stuff, I just don't feel like it's safe. A lot of black women have been unalived by white tea men that they probably never would have come across if not for the connection of them meeting on a dating app. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind too, as a black woman. Just letting you know that's something to be concerned with. That you could be concerned that I mean not that you should be concerned with. Because there are a lot of racist white men that hate black people for no other reason than they just hate them. They don't have a reason. They just are filled with hatred. But anyway, like I said, I really do think that we as black, good morning, Coach D. I really do think that we as black women really have got to work on instilling in our youth, our young black girls, that you cannot wait on a black boy or a black man to be a gentleman. He's not going to say, oh, you're a woman, like I said earlier, or you're a girl, and I'm not going to put my hands on you, because black men think that they are women, which is why they always want to compare themselves to women, which is why they want to be treated like a lady. They want you to pay the bills. They want you to take them out for a date. They want you to do all of this. They don't think that they have any responsibilities as men. They feel like you should do exactly what they're doing because they in their own mind, they believe they're you. They believe they're a lady too. So if he believes he's a lady, what do you think that means when an altercation occurs or a fight occurs? That means he's gonna fight you just like he would fight another man, because in his eyes you are that. So, yeah. And I just want to say number 3, like I said, this wasn't to single out black men or white tea men. I don't think that you should trust any race of man as a black woman, because black men have did a fantastic job. Now, a lot of people say black men haven't did anything for the community. They haven't achieved anything. I'll tell you one thing that black men did flawlessly. They completely destroyed the image of the black woman, completely destroyed it, and took lies and put them out in the public over and over and over again, to the point to where a lot of the lies that black men tell, other races of people will come to you as a black woman and tell you about it like they know you, because of all the lies that black men have told. So because of that, I will say that black women already were not respected or valued in the black community, right? There wasn't a lot of value put on a black life, and definitely not a black female life, right? So now that has enabled men of other races to feel like they can easily end a black woman without I would say they can end a black woman's life without consequence. That it's no big deal. That, oh, she's just a step above a bug or a fly or a cat or a dog. It's not that big a deal for a black woman's life to be ended. Let me see here. Yeah. What are you doing, dog? Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had to check on my dog. She was making this weird noise. Let's see here. Somebody said in the comments, Zoe the narcissist said the media did. I'll tell you this, is that the media and the ideas that they put out against black women could have never flourished without the collective of black men. Anything that the media has said about black women could never be the way it is now without black men's cosign. So blaming it on the media is like, I think that's reducing the problem. That's reducing the problem. To make it seem like it wasn't directly caused by black men. Because at the end of the day, like the things that white T people tell you, or white T Latinas tell you, or all of these different races of people, they don't tell you what the media told you. They tell you what they heard a black man say. Oh, what I heard black men say on YouTube, what I heard black men say on social media, what I heard. So yeah. And also when we talk about media, what are we talking about? Movies? Are we talking about music? Are we talking about TV? Because with all of those things, they have black men's permission and participation. They have black men's participation in putting forth all of those narratives. So yeah. So also, I wanted to talk about number 4, taking defense classes. Okay, so if you are living in a state as a black woman where you can own a pew-pew, you need to go on Groupon and take you a pew-pew class. That pew-pew class will tell you the best pew-pew for you, the way to use it, the way to load it, the best way to be safe, and what way to use it so that you don't get in trouble, because you're not supposed to be just brandishing your pew-pew. You can only pull it if you plan to use it. And if you plan to use it, you should be planning to stop the threat, which is, essentially unaliving a person. So, or the threat, the thing that is trying to unalive you. Because we're not talking about harming people. We're talking about protecting yourself, self-defense. Also, number 5, you want to stay away. And this is my opinion. As a black woman, you want to stay away from places where black men and black boys congregate. So if it's a situation where it's a whole lot of black men and black boys, as a black woman, you need to stay away. It's for your own protection. A young black girl just got unalived this weekend because she was at a party, and who started pew-pewing up the place? You already know who started pew-pewing up the place. It was black boys and black men, and she was unalived by a stray, you know what? So this is what I'm talking about. The best way to protect yourself is also when you're going out, is you know that it's going to be a lot of them somewhere, you don't need to be there. Period. You do not. Let's see here. Timothy said, be cautious of people who talk down on their own race. You should also be cautious of black men that don't want you to protect yourself. You should be cautious of black men that when they hear black women talking about the ways to preserve their life, they don't want to hear it. They don't want you to talk about it, because those are the type of men that would rather you be unalived, whether you be in the ground, a part of the dirt, than be alive, than to talk badly, so-called badly, about black men. These are real things that's happening to black women. And I find it to be crazy that this is considered bashing when, like I said yesterday on the live, that black women are 6 to 8 times more likely to be unalived than any other race of woman in the United States of America. So that means that there is a problem, and black women and black girls do need to protect themselves. So the fact that you consider black women trying to protect themselves bashing is nuts. Can you tell me why you don't want black women to protect themselves, Timothy? I'd like to know.
Let's first start off with not asking gaslight questions.
No. Let's
At
first
no
start.
time,
No.
at no
Don't
time
do
in the
that.
comment,
Don't do that. You don't run nothing
I
over
never
here.
said
You
bashing.
don't
I
run
never
nothing over here, Timothy.
At
So
no
don't
time
unmute
did I say
yourself.
bashing.
Have some self-regulation. Don't be like the rest of these black men and don't know how to control yourself. I didn't ask you a gaslighting question. You said in the comments that I was talking down on black people. So I said, why is it that protecting black women is talking down on black people? Because what did I say to talk down on black men? Answer that. What did I say? Question. You
Is it
can
my
answer
turn?
that.
Is it my turn? Is it my
Yes,
turn to
answer
speak
my question.
uninterruptedly?
Answer my
Uninterruptedly.
question.
Is it my turn to speak
Yes, when you
uninterruptedly?
answer my question, it is.
Exactly. Who's the one
Exactly.
yelling and
Answer my
screaming like a
question.
lunatic?
Exactly. You ugly. You dusty. You dirty. Your beard is nappy. Answer my question. This is what I'm saying. I'm not here to massage your ego. Once again, this is what I'm saying. When you ask them a question, they can't say nothing. You can't say nothing. All right. Who said calm down? MSNY said calm down. I will calm down right now by blocking you. Goodbye. There you go. Now you don't have to worry about me not being calm. Cause now you can't even listen. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you saw that he came up here, he had an attitude, he had nothing to say. And because what I really want you to know also as black women, let me block Timothy. And then, oh my gosh, this man has a middle name of Danger. Now I see why he had a problem. His name is Timothy Danger Smith. The reason why he had a problem with what I'm saying is he's part of the problem. He's the violent knick-knack that I'm talking about. Because what grown men calls themselves Danger? Huh? That's my question. Hold on, y'all. Just give me a second. Timothy. Timothy, you look like a homeless criminal that definitely, with those dead senpaku eyes, that you definitely have put your hands on a woman a time or two. Not to mention that your middle name is Danger. Sir, if you don't get your dusty, not washing behind the back of your ears, you know what I'm saying, in the crack of your behind, get up out of here, bro. You are such a dusty. You probably don't even got $1.50 to your name. You can't even groom yourself properly. Get your dusty butt up out of here. Right now. Get. It is definitely an archetype, y'all. Definitely wild. And then you know what's crazy? Is that they're so entitled that they actually believe that they can come up in somebody else's life, not know them, not have talked to them, don't know them from a can of paint, and then they think that they can talk to them crazy. Y'all know how crazy that is? Tell me, oh, can I talk? Anthony, you know what I think you should do? I think that you should come get in this live and turn your camera on. That's what I think that you should do, but I bet you won't do it because you know, like I know, that you ugly, uglier than what can I say? What can I compare you to? I think you're uglier than a Sunday night before you have to go to work. That's what I think, Anthony. That's what I think. So yeah, I think that's what you should do. And I've listened to my voice plenty of times. Thanks. Anthony's not gonna come up here, Sheena. You know that he's just a coward. Somebody I already blocked. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, let me not let this man take off what I'm trying to say. Because this is very important. You have to be aware of black men that will take issue to you trying to protect yourself as a black woman. Because those are the men that want you to be ill-equipped and unable to protect yourself. Oh, thank you so much, Alicia. Girl, I don't think nothing crazy when they talk about my voice. I really don't. Because the thing about it is that the only thing that they can talk about is my voice. It's the only thing that they can hear. So that's because they can't debunk anything that I'm saying. So I never trip about it. Honestly, I don't. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm 19 by the way.
Okay,
Anyways,
go
I
ahead.
just need to like put one thing in. Cause like you know how it'd be like young black girls dating other men of other race and they be using the N-word and those girls let it slide. Or they just let their man be straight up racist and they be thinking it's oh hee hee ha ha. Like y'all stay away from that, please, cause it's like he's playing in your face.
Okay. All right. I'm not too for sure about that, you guys. Just 1 second, y'all, though. I gotta go back up there and find the guy that was up there, Timothy Danger, so that I can okay, he's blocked already. Okay, great. Thank y'all for blocking him. I don't know, Miss Chrissy, baby. I have no idea. I don't know. But I just wanted to say, you guys, is that as if you notice, you guys, that when black women ever talk about, and this happened, I think it was yesterday as well. Anytime black women talk about active solutions of helping themselves, you'll notice that black men start coming around and start telling black women why they shouldn't do it. And the reason why they do that is because if black women really start making moves to improve themselves even more than they are right now, black men will be left behind even further and further and further. And they don't want that. And also, black women and black girls are the only group that black men can dominate and harm without consequence. So if I tell you as black women and black girls how to protect yourself and the best way not to become a victim, I take away their only way that they feel strong and dominant, because they can't go to the white tea women and really do them harm. Because the moment that white tea lady decides that she wants to participate in the system of white tea supremacy and get her white tea man or her white tea daddy or the white tea justice system, that black man is going down. And if he wants to go to the Asians or the Indians or whoever and do it, their men are not going to go for it. So they're going to do something about it. So the only group of women that black men can oppress and hurt and harm without consequence are black women and black girls. And that's the reason why somebody that came up here like Timothy had such a problem with what I said. Because if to protect black women is to stop him from having anybody to step on. And the only way black men feel powerful, the collective now, this isn't everybody, but the collective, the only way the collective of black men feel powerful is to oppress black women and black girls. They have to oppress somebody, and they're too afraid to try to oppress anyone else. So, I just want to say that the most important thing is to protect yourself. As a black woman, you've got to protect yourself. You can't rely on black men to treat you like this princess. You can't rely on that. It's not going to happen collectively. Now, I'm not saying that you might be able to find a random black man, an outlier that may respect you. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is moving in this world as you're thinking that collectively this is going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you've got to protect yourself. You have to. You have to. So once again, the best ways that you need to do that is to not assume that you're going to be given any type of grace because you're a female. I'm a woman. I'm a girl. You're not going to put your hands on me. Yeah. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Oh, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. He's not going to cuss me out. No. Yes, he will. Oh, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. He's not going to rob me and run my pockets. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. So you need to move in this world and protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. And whatever that looks like for you is what you should be doing. But you should be doing something. There's no way that there should be a black man that's up in your face, threatening violence against you, and you don't have any option to way to protect yourself. And it's the same thing with, did you guys see that postal worker? The black woman that was the postal worker that was attacked by the Middle Eastern man? And how, she was trying to go back and forth with him, but at the end of the day, he's a man. She should have had some type of means of protection. She should have had some mace that she could have easily whipped out. She could have even had a concealed, you know what? And forget it, because she's out in the streets every day. Forget the post office and their rules. Because if she's unalived by somebody, the rules don't matter, right? So she should have been able to protect herself in that situation. She should have, and I'm not victim blaming. I'm not saying that it's her fault, because I understand. I really do. I think that in this world, we as black women, because we have a moral compass of what is right and what is wrong and what is fair and what is unjust, that we assume that people will handle us the same way. And they do not. They do not. Let's see here. Who is this person in the comments? German Shuffle, you have 5 seconds to get in the chat. Other than that, you're getting blocked. When y'all come in and y'all are men and y'all think that y'all are going to give y'all voices and bother the women in the chat, the only way you're going to do that is if you get in the box. Other than that, you're going to get blocked. So you have 5 seconds, German Shuffle, to get in the box. Other than that, you're getting blocked. I'm going to give you to the count of 5. 5, 4, yeah, block yourself, and I'll block you too. Goodbye. You're blocked. All right. So yeah, he's a coward. They normally are. They normally are. So once again, if you are a black mother, and you're listening to this right now, if you have a teenager or you have a daughter that's in her early 20s, please get her a gift, a Groupon. Like I say Groupon because Groupon is cheap, to get her a self-defense class that will tell her how to use a pew-pew, the proper way to choose a pew-pew, all type of pew-pew safety. You can get all of that in one class. It'll be like a 2, 3, 4 hour class. They'll teach you everything. Some of them will even take you to the range and let you pew right there. And then they will inform you right there. Then you know the proper way to hold it, the proper way to that way you know how to hold it so that when there's kickback, you know what I'm saying? That you know how to hold on to it to where you don't fall down or something like that, depending on how powerful of a pew that you got. So please, anybody go to Groupon. It will probably cost you like $50 or under. 20 to 50 bucks. 20 to 50 bucks to save your life. And then there is a website that I use a lot to get pews. It's called pewpew.com, guns.com. And that is a great place to go. You can get ARs, you can get anything that you need. You know? And I think that's very important to do. Let's see here. You see another one right here. This guy Too Cool says that nobody is worried about black women. And you see that? That's exactly why I said to protect yourself. Because this black man said that nobody's worried about black women. And the
I sure
and the
did. I
reason
sure.
why, and the reason why he said that is because he's an abuser, he's a pookie, he's a bandit, and also because he hasn't met somebody like me. Because I would send you straight in the dirt, punk. That's what I would do. You ever talk to me crazy, you ever threaten my life, the life that will be ending is your own. For real. So it's just because you haven't met black women like me. But that's why I'm trying to encourage black women right now to really get up on your defense game so that men like Too Cool or Tulane will understand that you're not playing with them. Just like that dude that attacked that lady in the chicken spot and her son went out there and put him in the dirt. More of those things need to happen. Like you threaten somebody's life, you smack a woman, you put your hands on her, you need to go in the dirt. And it's really just that simple. And the fact that he isn't scared, but it would be scared of a black man though, lets you know that the level of violence and criminality that goes on amongst them versus us. Because he's not scared of us. But I can guarantee you, if he went to the bank, which he probably is never there, but if he ever did, and he was somewhere at night and he had some money and he saw some black men walking around looking suspicious, he'd be scared of them though. He'd be worried about them though. You get what I'm saying? But it's like I said, it's a very strange situation. Because once again, here's another black man up here. We're talking about black women protecting themselves, and this man is talking about nobody's worried about black women. Nobody said you had to be. We're over here talking about black women protecting themselves. And these are men that have mothers, they have sisters, they have aunts, they have daughters. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't care about protecting black women or black women protecting themselves. If y'all don't understand how crazy it is for a man, the only reason why this man is able to be in this chat is because a woman decided to birth him. For him to say that nobody's worried is like, that's actually concerning, you know? And I mean, only reason why I brought him up here is because I want you guys to see the true nature of a lot of these black men. Because y'all can take it from me, but y'all won't believe, some people won't believe me. They'll think that, like the other black man that was up here, that I'm just being rude and bashing black men. But I'd rather have them say it out of their own mouth. That way you can see that I'm not lying. Because you notice the first thing he said when he got up here was, yeah, I said it. Exactly. I know. Because you're exactly what I'm talking about. It's great. You're doing great for me. So I'm gonna let this man speak. I sent a request for you to turn your mic on too. I'm gonna give you 1 minute.
Yeah, man. Y'all sit up here and they talk like somebody's really like after you. I don't give no. I do not care about y'all, man.
Do you
I'm
know
not worried
anything
about
about the
y'all.
black femicide
I
rates?
take my ass to work every
Do
day.
you know
I
anything
do my
about the black
thing.
femicide
And
rates?
guess what? I'm not scared of anybody.
Do you know anything about the black femicide rates? Are you listening to me? Do you know anything about the black femicide rate since you said nobody's after black women? Go ahead. Could you please let me know what's the black femicide rate? And when's the last time you looked it up to know if black women have a right to be worried? You there? You there? I sent you a request to turn your mic on. You there?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. All I know is
okay,
I'm
so
gonna
if you
protect.
don't know,
I'm here.
if you don't know and you
My
don't give a
bad.
fuck, like you be quiet, just like if you don't know and you don't give a fuck, like you said, Mr. Ignorant, GED,
Yes,
probably
ma'am.
don't even got a
Respectfully, I'm
GED,
here.
then
Loud and
how in the
clear.
world don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Yeah,
Just
so I'm
like if you
scrolling.
don't know,
My bad.
okay, let me drop you. I said
Listen,
don't
I
talk.
don't
I'm
know, and
talking to
I don't
somebody
give a
else.
fuck.
Don't say nothing. Let me drop you. Hold on. Let me drop and block
Y'all over
you.
here.
Goodbye. Goodbye. You're done talking. So let me say this is that if you don't know and you don't give a
Like y'all still
fuck,
on my part,
like you
but
just said,
I
please don't say
completely agree
nothing.
with.
Don't make me drop you too. I'll drop you too. Don't say nothing. All right. As I was saying, if you don't know the black femicide rate and you don't know what's going on with black women, like logically speaking, then why would you say that black women don't have anything to be worried about? And y'all can block Too Cool, Too Lame in the chat. Please block that man. Anybody, if you my mod, please block this man. Block him immediately. Block him. Let me see if I see him. Oh, I see him. I'll block him right now. Yeah, he's gone. As I was saying, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. If you are not educated on what's going on, then how can you say what black women should be worried about or not if you don't even know the numbers? You get what I'm saying? And I knew that wasn't going to be a good conversation. Trust and believe. I do that. But the thing about it is that I wanted to have you hear that the men don't care. They don't care. They'll come up here and dismiss you even though they don't know nothing about nothing. They don't know what's happening to black women, nor, just like he said, do they care. They only care enough to tell you don't be worried so that you can be a bigger lick for them. And that's unfortunate. And I just want y'all to know, I try not to cuss on my platform. I was just trying to imitate what he was saying because he sounded crazy. But anyway, let me just keep going because this Sigma person, this ain't gonna last long either. Go ahead. You got a minute.
Hey, girl. Ooh, you are preaching, yo. I got a minute. I'm listening to everything you saying, and I am just shaking my head up and down because I'm seeing what you seeing. And I was raised by a black man. I was raised by one of those down south boomer generation fathers. So you know how they get down. You know, like that. Barry White, Isaac Hayes looking dudes. And the way he taught me to treat women, regardless of race, but most importantly, black women, it's like the way I was raised and brought up, and what I see older men out here doing and how they're treating women is like, wow. I was raised in the black household is, and it's like I'm watching the same thing you're watching, girl, and I'm like, yo, I was raised too good, and nobody can't find me, and y'all suffering.
All right. So you guys, I just, like I said, I think that it's very important to get the perspective of, men and how they feel about women, how more importantly they feel about black women and black women's plight, the things that go on with black women. I think it's very important because I feel like it will almost, if you're willing, it will snap you out of reality. Oh, not reality, excuse me. It will snap you into reality. So it'll snap you out of the fantasy world that you have created to where somehow, some way, this world looks at you as you are a black woman or a black girl. They look at you as this feminine creature that they will give, respect to due to your femininity, because they won't. And unfortunately, this is something that I do feel like uniquely black women and black girls have to deal with versus other races of women. Like, I don't know if y'all remember. Do y'all remember that Victoria's Secret viral video where that white lady was laying on the ground in Victoria's Secret and rolling around and having a temper tantrum against that black woman, and then told her like stop recording her, and then she kept chasing her around trying to grab her phone and stuff. And when those white tee officers came, how they coddled that white tee woman. Do you think for one instance, one moment, because if you notice that when a white woman is acting up, white men will come in and coddle her and do all of this stuff. But do you think for a moment, if a black woman did something like that and it was reversed and black officers came, do you think that they would coddle her, like coddle a black woman like that? Absolutely not. I don't care what the reason was. I don't care if she was documented with mental health issues. It would never work out. And so I just want black women to understand that there is a difference in the way that you are treated versus others and the way that you are seen by the collective of black men. You are not seen as a person that is due some type of respect or some type of leniency because you're a woman. Oh, we can't do that to her because she's a woman. We can't do that to her because she's a female. No, it doesn't work like that with black men. Black men feel like they're on the same level as you. There's no difference. And that to me is a big reason why you need to protect yourself. I'm gonna keep saying it, protect yourself. And I don't mean just listen to what I'm saying and then move forward. Like, you need to make active steps now. So if you got your money's tight, wait till you get paid. It's October. If you gotta wait till it's tax time, that's fine. What you should do is make sure that within the next 4 months, the short term goal, right? That you make sure that you put aside some money to one, take a pew pew safety class if you can. If you're able to get a pew pew in your state, and then you should put aside the money to get you a pew pew and a holster. Those are the three things that you should do. If you have to get a concealed carry license, that's what you should do. That is absolutely what you should do as a black woman. Now, if you're in a place to where you cannot get that, then what you should do is you should make sure that you get yourself some other personal protection items, whatever's legal in your area. That's what you should get. You should get those things so that you can protect yourself. Let me keep going here to Poetic Aesthetic. You can go ahead, sis.
Hey, okay. I just wanted to say this. Whenever I came out of the state of living a life through like traumatized eyes, I was so disappointed in the women in my family because I grew up in a family full of women. And nobody ever told me to be careful around men, to look out for men and what they're capable of. To not be alone in a room with a grown, even as a little girl, to not be alone with a grown man. And I grew up in a different time, a time where I guess women didn't really speak up for themselves or their children, their daughters, as much as they do now. And I'm really thankful for social media for putting that type of awareness out, because if it weren't for social media, a lot of us never would have known better. And I feel like I'm included in that. I was never told that men have the capability to want to touch little girls, you know? And I feel like that is a thing that every mother or adult woman should tell every little girl in their life. So I make it a point to tell my nieces to look out for those kinds of things, to watch out for men because they can be creepy, they can be predators, and you know, you being a little girl doesn't mean anything to them. They'll still, you know, try to do things to you that are inappropriate. My nieces have a TikTok here or whatever, and there was a man that was commenting on a lot of their posts, and I didn't know who he was. They have a restricted page, but it turns out it was a friend of their paternal grandfather, but he was like using the Google eyes or whatever, googly eyes, looking on a lot of their posts. And I'm like, even him, you have to look out for him because they are being told that that is a family member of theirs. And I'm like, he's not a family member, first of all. And even if he was, he can still potentially be dangerous. I have to be really like aware and telling them. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, all right. I got you, poetic aesthetic, and I appreciate you sharing. And I think it's good to hear these things. I really do, because I think that it's good to alert us of the seriousness of what's going on. And that, you know, I always like to hear from all different types of Black women all over, because that way people can't say, oh, this is just me, I'm just saying this. You know, this is a representative of, you know, of Black women's experiences in totality. It's just me, you know, because I could have sworn I talked to Black women all over, all different socioeconomic statuses, all over the world, all over this, that, and the third. And it's so funny that the majority of us have the same thought process or have at least experienced something. I will tell y'all something. This was back when, this was a long time ago, when I was pregnant with my first child. My husband was at work. So I was all alone. I went to the gas station, right? And I'm talking about, I think I was like maybe like 6 months at the time. So like, even though I was thin, the stomach was out there. So I went to the gas station, pulled up, got some gas. This Black man that was in a SUV pulled in front of me, and I don't know what he was on. Like cause I was still pumping when he was getting ready to leave, and he backed up into my car. And I'm talking about, he like obliterated the front of the car. Like, I'm talking about obliterated it. So we got out the car, and I'm like, hey, like, you know, he starts yelling and screaming, saying like, hey, why was you still there? Why was you still there? Why was you still behind me? I said, because I wasn't done pumping gas. You know, he was like, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I just got this car. I just got this car, and I just got my insurance. Well, I just got my insurance. Like, what am I supposed to do? I said, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he was scaring me. And so he starts freaking out, and he says, I'm just gonna call the police. I'm gonna call the police. I said, yeah, you gotta call the police. So while he's calling the police, he's yelling and screaming at me. And at this point, I don't know. I just like actually blank out. And I start yelling back and forth with him, because he was really pissing me off. Because I asked him, I said, why are you yelling at me and you hit my car? Like, you hit my car. Why are you yelling at me? That was the first thing that I said. He was like, you know, bitch, you don't say nothing to me. You don't, da-da-da. So he started going crazy. He said, you know what? I'll call my bitch up here to beat you up right now. I'll call my bitch up here to beat you up. And I said, you do know, you see I'm pregnant. He was like, he said, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to use all the words that he said to me. He said, I don't give a fuck about that. So he said my bitch pregnant too. Now, when this lady comes, and she does come, mind you, she doesn't look pregnant to me, but she could be pregnant to where I don't see it, but she's definitely pregnant. I mean, excuse me, she's definitely not that I see that she's pregnant. She doesn't look pregnant. So I don't know if she's pregnant or not, but I know that you can definitely tell that I'm pregnant. So she comes up on the scene, and it'll take her like maybe like 5 minutes to get there. She's there before the cops get there. And they're both now yelling and screaming at me. She's threatening to stomp my baby out and everything. And actually, y'all, I'm terrified. Because this is before, I had, armed myself before I did any of that. Like I said, my husband was at work. He was nowhere to be found. It was just me. And they were going crazy. This man actually ran up to me and reared his arm back like he was about to punch me. And I said, if you punch me, it'll be the last thing that you do. It'll be the last thing that you do. And he was like, ain't no nobody gonna punch you. I ain't nobody punch you. I can scare you though. I can scare you though. And she's over there calling me all type of, because she looked like she was maybe like I don't know what she was, but she kept calling me. She looked black to me though, but she was calling me. But she was light skinned. She was calling me all type of black bitches and this, that, and the third. It was real crazy. So while we're arguing and stuff, the police officers come and they go and run right to him like, "Hey, why are you, yelling at this lady? She pregnant." They tell the girl to go get in her car and go away. They end up taking this man's information. They take my information. They take a police report. They get his insurance. I don't even remember if they got my insurance because it was so clear that he was the one that was at fault. I end up filing on his insurance. They actually ended up replacing my whole car. Like he did so much damage to my car that it was considered considered a total loss. A total loss is what it was considered. I got a new car off of that. It was used, but I still got a new used car. Do you know how I was so mentally like scared from that? Like the I guess the effects of that lasted for like maybe like a month or so, where I just felt like real scared, and like because I was yelling and screaming, while being pregnant, like I just felt like I don't know, like my daughter that was in my stomach, it felt like she was pulling or something. But I will tell you that like I had already seen the violence of black men before then. You know what I'm saying? Before then, I had already seen their violence and stuff like that. But then that let me know that any black man, like, they have no respect for nothing. They don't have respect if you're pregnant, which is the reason why the most riskiest time for a black woman is during pregnancy, and how black women make the largest percentage up of women that are unalived while pregnant is that black men don't have any respect for nothing. Like I said earlier, they don't even care if you're a woman or a girl or nothing. They look at themselves just like they're a woman, just like you. Like they're actually not a male, but they're female. They look at That's the reason why they be doing these things. No morals, no nothing. But like I said, that was what that opened my eyes up to the fact that, wow, you know what I'm saying? I gotta protect myself because there's gonna be times that I'm moving in this world and I'm alone. You know? But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think the majority of black women have that type of experience where they're somewhere and they realize that either black men are not going to protect them and because they don't care, or they are the ones that you need to be protected from. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I don't be just pulling this stuff out of my, like, I'm not saying these things just to say them. Like I said, when I saw the video today of the young black girls that were really scared of the guy that got out the car and ran up on him and said that he slaps bitches, I think every black woman and black girl has a moment like that where she just is like taken aback, like, wow, like, you really will hurt me. Like, you really will put your hands on me. Wow, there's something that I need to do about this. But anyway, let me go up here to let sis speak. Go ahead, Jay. I'll start your timer for you, sis. I'll say I don't know how to pronounce your name. So
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, it's LaShane, but good morning, everyone.
All right.
I wanted to add another aspect to it, and you guys tell me what you think. In my professional career, I can definitely add that men that are like supervisors or in a higher position of power, they should also be considered dangerous. And I'll just share this little tidbit. Hopefully no one on this live knows me. But I had a supervisor that was a male, and he would do like little things like that afterward after the whole situation will be considered sexual harassment. There were little things that he would do. He would make comments about my body, or because I had just gotten married at that time, he would say things about like how my husband didn't know what to do, and just it made me really, really uncomfortable. And I remember it gives me chills even thinking about it. I remember he had propositioned me. The he had propositioned me, and I sent it in text that do not text me things like that, because the type of job I had, you kind of have to be on call. It was salary, a whole nother issue. But he had propositioned me and I told him no. And literally 2 days later, he fired me. I had to submit all kind of documentation because I had to sue, because he really didn't give me any reason why he got rid of me. Only the fact that, I live in Florida, so a lot of the time that's that I guess no fault or something along those lines, where you can be, terminated for no reason. But that definitely put me in a whole different perspective, because I was already leery of just males in general, but also in the workplace. It led me to be very, very vigilant, especially with any interaction I have with a male, just for my own protection and my own safety. So that was just something I wanted to share, and I would be interested to know what you ladies think about that, males in professional settings and higher job titles. But I'll land my plane.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lashane. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. Um, I feel like this is that when it comes to, and this I don't want this to be like I'm just saying black men, because I think men in general are disgusting predators. But I think that when you add the layer of, a man that is never used to having any type of power, that they're always going to abuse that to see if they can get themselves access to women. You know, it's like I say about like Hollywood, right? Like how I feel. This is how I feel. It's kind of tying in. I'm going somewhere with this. It's like how I feel like there's not a female celebrity, singer, actor, dancer, whatever that has managed to become like a mainstream success, that has not had to do something that she didn't want to do at a man's hands to achieve that success, because men are predators by nature. Like, if you have you have men that will buy you a drink, right? Or they'll buy you a meal, and they'll think that because they have done something so small that they deserve access to your body, to intercourse and all of these things. And so I'm looking at celebrity women, musicians, singers, actors, whatever, that they know that they're going to put them in position to like make billions of dollars or millions of dollars, or have this great life that they're going to transform. You think men aren't going to take advantage of that and use that as an opportunity to have sexual access to those women? They are. Because if a man will weaponize a drink against you or a meal against you, what do you think they're going to weaponize against you when they know that you're about to blow up and be this household name? You're definitely going to have to do something. And I believe that applies to anybody, even your fave. Okay, so any fave that you have that you really like, she had to do it too, for sure. And I think the same thing applies to work, unfortunately. Now, there might be some men that are afraid to try to exercise that, Lashane. But I think that if a man feels like he can try it, he will. And then not adding the dimension of you being a black woman to it too, because I think the world is programmed to have even less respect for us than they do women, than they do all the other races of women. And we know that all women are looked down on, but being a black woman is an extra layer to it. Did that make sense at all, Lashane?
It does. And I do want to add another layer to it, because I had like the big manager was a woman, a black woman. And it was a really big thing, because he was like one of the only males in that in our field. And he was very much so coddled by the bigger, the supervisor, the CEO. She was coddling him. She was a huge pygmisha, because she only had 3 sons. So you can already see the dynamic. She gave all the black girls a hard time. But that one male, which was our direct supervisor, she coddled him. She actually stood behind him when he fired me with no reason. She actually stood behind him. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And we graduated from the same college. That's how I ended up getting hired, because she was, we were from an HBCU, so we were kind of familiar with how that works. And then turned around and literally coddled that black man after he clearly hurt me. So it was insane. I've literally, like, I've even taken my daughter out of public school because, like, the young boys, they're like saying the N-word, like white. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These men are out of control. Like, they are out of control.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. And yeah, I think that when we talk about like enemies to black women, pick me women are right there, right behind, or even if you want to say right next to black men and other races of men. I actually really put them in the same boat because, pick me women will um prey on your downfall, will assist in your downfall, will assist a man in doing something to you. Like, it's really no difference. It's very, and if there is a slight difference, it's really negligible in my opinion. I really do. And that's the reason why I talk about pick me's, because it's I think a lot of times they go under the radar because with a lot of women that make content like mine, it goes under the radar because they're women. But those women are just as violent, just as dangerous as the men, for sure. And, I just can't imagine being so desperate for men's attention that I am willing to sell out a fellow sister. It just doesn't make any sense. Yes,
It was
yes, Alicia.
it was really bad. Like, literally, the it's like I didn't even want money. I just wanted an apology. And literally they would have rather paid out instead of reprimanding the actual person that did the damage. It was insane. They would rather pay out instead of apologize. That's literally all I wanted was an apology. And they would have rather paid out. So that was insane. Insane. But thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
No problem, Lashane. And this person in the comments that says, "Why are you spreading hate on black men?" They said, "Why we spreading hate on BM Doe, DOE?" You're clearly an idiot, but what I would like for y'all to do, is to really, like, number one, critically think. And number two, realize that black women protecting themselves is not spreading hate. And it's funny that anytime a black woman talks about anything like this is spreading hate. But I never see any of you buck broken bandits in lies where they actively talk about black women. Say everything bad, terrible about black women. Y'all are never there telling them why we spreading hate on black women, though. Y'all don't never be anywhere doing that. But anytime black women talk about protecting themselves, and that's once again, let me block you. Goodbye. You're blocked. I'm not even about to go back and forth. Goodbye. Yes, it's real crazy to me. And like I said, I want y'all to know that for any black women that may actually, I really love alliteration, Kels. I want any black women to know that, like, maybe on the fence about black men, or actually listen to some of the things that they say and say, "Oh no, they have a point here and there." I really I want you guys to know something, that the goal is not to get you to do better. You know how, like, there'll be some black men that will have lives about black women's bodies and talk about, obesity rates, or, the fact that, black women being overweight, this, that, and the third, and all this other crazy stuff. Their goal is not to improve you, to get you to be more healthy. Or when they talk about baby mamas and single mamas, or women being masculine acting, or having none of these things, or choosing wrong, choosing the wrong men, none of these things are rooted in helping you to be better. Because if you notice, anytime there are black women that actively preach black women doing better, they always will come in and tell you why you're having that conversation. Why we talk about this? Why we having this conversation? Why are y'all mentioning this? Because the goal is never for black women to do better. It is just to degrade you, to degrade black women, to make you feel like there's nothing that you can do. Like, I remember there was a live that these black men were having. This was about a month ago, about single mothers. And this black woman got up there, right? And she said, I have a child by a man that treated me badly. You know, I had the child when I was, I think she said 20. She said, but now I'm 32. I know better. I don't have any more children. I'm actively looking to find a good man, a good black man, a different type of man. Do you say that single mothers are not, you know, worthy of love or whatever, that they don't need to be chosen? Like, what about me? Should I have to pay and suffer for everything that I did, the mistakes that I made when I was young, for the rest of my life? Those black men told her yes. They said you should pay for that for the rest of your life. You should never have a man. You should never be able to be married. You're damaged goods. The only thing that you should allow yourself to be is to be used by men for sex and only sex. Do you know that lady broke down in tears and left? Now, I felt sorry for her, but I felt like, why would you let these black men break you down to that degree? And why would you even ask her? Ask them. But you know what I'm saying? That's what's crazy to me, is that they actually don't want you to do better. They want to torture you. They want to hurt you. They want to harm you. They want you to feel bad about yourself forever. And you having any type of self-esteem about yourself, you feeling like, you know, I'm all that, or you feeling having a good self-image, is a threat to them, because all they want to do is take your self-esteem down to where you will be more open to being used by them. And that's the reason why saying that I'm saying black women should protect themselves is a threat to them, because they don't want you to protect yourself. They want you to be out in the street and one of them call you all type of B words and push you or smack you, and you don't have any recourse other than to take it. I don't know if any of y'all seen that viral video of it was two black girls. They were in a bodega, and this black man, he was trying to talk to them and they didn't want to talk to him. And he kept trying to talk to this one girl. She was like, I told you to leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. He smacked the dog crap out of this girl. And she grabbed her face and she was like, I can't believe you smacked me. She was like, is anybody going to stop this? And he raised his hand up again and said, B, don't say nothing to me. You say one more word, I'm going to smack you again. And then she was looking at her friend. Her friend didn't say nothing. They were terrified. And that's exactly what I really feel like a lot of black men want. They want to be able to be out in the streets doing things like that. I know the way that I talk to black men on these lives. I know if I was in front of their face by myself, I would definitely have to pew pew one of them for sure. Because I know that they would try to put their hands on me. And I'm definitely pulling it. And I'm definitely sending you straight downstairs. But I do believe that they would definitely try to put their hands on me for sure. And I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm not really trying to get emotional, because I think that people don't understand how serious of a topic this means to me. Like, I really am really afraid for black women. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I really be in a lot of groups. I've said this, I said this multiple times. I'm in a lot of groups where there are only men. I'm in a lot of red pill white groups, red pill Asian groups, and I'm in a whole lot even more of black men red pill groups, Kevin Samuel groups, all of that. And the things that they say about black women, the things that they say that they'll do to black women is really, really scary. Like, they say, oh, I'm waiting for the moment that a black woman turn me down and I want to get with her, and she say no, I'm going to knock her teeth out her mouth. Is dudes say, oh, I'm going to grape her. Is dudes say, I'm going to unalive her. And they say all type of things. And it's like, I really want black women to understand that it is in your best interest to really protect yourself. I'm really not playing around. Like, I really, 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 like, it is so serious. It's so serious. And I just wish that I had a bigger platform to get more black women aware. Like, it's serious. And what's crazy is that, I don't talk about white tea people, but it's serious over there for them too. It's serious for them over there too. You know that white tea man, he was either white tea, like European, or he was white tea Hispanic, where he got mad. He was trying to talk to the 16-year-old girl, and she was like, no. And he ran her over and unalived her. Or the other white tea man that got mad at two white tea girls because he said something about Charlie Kirk, and they said something like they weren't sorry or something, and he unalived the both of them. Like, it's happening everywhere, but these men are really losing it. I'm just focused on black women though. Like it's really, really bad. And at the end of the day, when these men start crashing out, because people look at black women as the least valuable, not that it's true, but because they look at us as the least valuable, they're most at risk. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't want to just yeah, let me go up here to Coach T. Go ahead, Coach T.
Hey, Drew, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, how you doing this morning? I'm glad I got a chance to join. I've been so busy with work this past week and last week. But as always, thank you for having this space. Make sure everybody, we got 115 people in here. Let's keep tapping the screen. We had 23K likes. We can get up to 25K for Trigger for having this space and making sure that black women feel safe, and that we have an opportunity to come together and fellowship. I heard one of the young ladies before talk about how she's thankful for social media because nobody ever told her or taught her about the base nature of our male counterparts or how dangerous they could be. So these conversations are important. So make sure y'all tap the screen, keep liking the live, make sure y'all gifting the host. I see y'all gifting the host, period. But Trigger, this conversation for me is so personal because I grew up in a DV home, a IPV home, where I had to learn from a young age that males are dangerous in a very physical way. And so for me, I've always been kind of hyper aware that man will hit you and have no qualms about it. Like, won't feel no two ways about it, and he'll keep doing it and do it over and over and over again. And so I think that it is important for us as women to understand that. I mentioned in the chat, I don't argue with men. I don't say more than two things to strangers in public. I have to co-parent with my ex, and when we face to face, I don't say much because I know my mouth. So I don't have nothing to say. I'll just, I'll email it, I'll text it. Everything is documented. So I want to speak to that piece of it, like dealing with, because strangers pose a certain threat, but also to be aware that the males that you have interpersonal relationships with also pose a threat. Like the young lady below me, I think is it Hayes? I don't know how to say her name, girl. Let's just start with a J.
It's Lachey.
Lachey, okay. Lachey, yes. Lachey, yeah. Thank you for sharing your piece on that corporate piece, because those things are important. We talk a lot about, like strangers and, like kind of like stranger danger mentality. But the fact of the matter is the males who are in close, personal, intimate contact with you on a day-to-day basis pose the most threat to you. And it's kind of like one of those situations where familiarity breeds contempt. Like the more they around you, the more they see you shining and doing good. Because let's be honest, as black women, like, we make the world go round, and it's not even on purpose. It's just who we are. It's in us. It's not on us. So they mad at you because you out here moisturized, you got your new designer purse, you got your new car that you worked hard for, you out here with your hair done, your nails done, you taking care of your kids, making sure that they good, you done bought you a house, maybe investment property, or you even just got off Section 8. You don't gotta have EBT no more. Like, men are so mad and jealous of how much as black women we have elevated in a society that is not built for us. We are the opposite of this structure. We are not YT and we're not male. So to them, we should not be having any type of success. So they are mad. I even saw a lady make a TikTok, and I've even noticed this going out in public, because you know when I leave the house, I'm gonna make sure I have my ones and twos. Like you know, I'm gonna make sure that I look good with a little gloss. It don't matter. When I leave the house, I'm leaving the house. Period. People be mad. You notice people be looking at you sideways, like, dang, I ain't even brushed my hair. I got a little fade. I ain't even brushed my hair this morning, and you mad? Like that's crazy to me. But she was talking about how people is really mad at black women. They see you out living your life, doing your thing, taking care of your kids, like doing all of this stuff on your own, and they still mad. That's crazy to me. That people want to steal our shine, but y'all didn't have to sit in the dark to get, like y'all didn't have to go through what we had to go through to get here. So how dare y'all try to sit and judge us for living, to keep living? What we supposed to do? Oh, y'all wanted us to give up. Oh, okay.
Wanted us to give
I
up.
see it now.
They wanted us to give up, but also think about this: when you have children and then they decide they don't want to be there, they feel like you need to suffer more. They feel like you need to suffer more. Like, oh, your decisions to have a kid. Like, I have a child, and I had a child in college, but it's
Me
like,
too.
it's like, oh, well, you should have made better decisions. You should have made better decisions. And I'm like, how? If I'm the one that is here doing all the work, if I'm here doing all the work, you don't think that's punishment enough? I'm by myself. I'm by myself. And they'll be quick to try to humble you. Quick to try to humble you. That's why I give them nothing. I pay them dust and I keep it pushing. I literally left my marriage for the very same reason. Like I'm completely jaded at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do what we got to do. And the thing that they most mad about, and what I always tell mothers, especially single black mothers, especially mothers with daughters, you are always going to be blessed. You always going to have more than what you need because you're taking care of your kids. When you taking care of your kids and you making sure your kids is good, I'm never going to lack because I got to take care of these babies. I'm never going to lack. And that's what you're mad at. You left me with these kids thinking I was going to suffer, but I thought, ain't kids a blessing? Ain't children is supposed to be, you know, the purpose of women, quote unquote? Like, so I'm never gonna lack. Whenever I have and I give to my children, that's multiplied. I don't be worried. My children ain't never gonna need for nothing. That's what they mad about. And I think that the by and large, just take it like a little esoteric, the by and large BOK men are never going to see the success that we as BOK women see because we take care of our children and they don't.
Mhm.
How are you going to be blessed and you're a deadbeat? Why would somebody bless you with more money, more resources, more whatever? For what? You don't need it.
Mhm. You're right. You're right.
I'll tell you what, you guys. I'm glad that you guys talked about that as well. I think that can help any ladies that may be listening too. Um, like I said, you guys, I'm sorry I'm a little down because I just hope that like more black women actually talk about it, like solutions, because like I know that we as black women cannot control the actions of black men. I know that. Um, but the only thing that we can do is control our own actions and change the way that we move. And I do really believe that there are a lot of black women and black girls that don't take it seriously. And unfortunately, a lot of young black women are losing their life because of it. And you know, there was a story that I just heard about today. There was a young black baby. I think the baby is like 7 years old. It was she's 7 or 8. The mother left her at somebody's house, I think, to be watched, right? She came back to get her child. They said they didn't know where her child was. They found her child like in the woods or something like that. And, you know, they had pictures of her. Her head was like, I'm talking about crazy swollen, a huge lump. Apparently, an 8, 9, and 10-year old assaulted her back there in the woods and raped her. And she even had bite marks on her private parts. And it's like I feel like people don't understand that even the baby girls are not safe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I read
Like,
about that. They had
yeah.
pulled her braids out and they also
Mm-hmm.
eliminated on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, I'm trying not to. Uh, I'm just saying that the babies are not safe either. So, like, it's very imperative that you, as a black woman, as a black mother, that you realize that in no area will you be shown grace. There's no time period where you will be shown protection at all. I don't care if you a little baby. Look at the man that threw his 2 day old newborn in the lake because he wanted to be with another woman and not the woman that he had that baby with. He was cheating. He threw that 2 day
I think
old
he just
baby.
got convicted too,
Yes,
Trick.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. And so that's what I'm saying. In no area is there any grace shown to black women or black girls. There's no time period. So you have to move in that mind frame. And I understand that moving in that mind frame can be difficult. It can be emotionally and mentally draining, but you have got to move in that mind frame, because if you don't, you, your mama, your sisters, your aunties, your daughters will be prey. And it's really just that simple. You can't trust nobody. If people's coming over somebody's house and you don't know who it is, you can't trust them. When I was growing up, I would say, even though I don't speak to my mother anymore, I don't speak to my mother or my father. One thing that my mother did that I feel like she did to help me is she always told me, don't trust nobody. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust nobody. And if you ever do decide to trust somebody, that needs to be a long time before you give them any type of real trust. And even then, still, don't think that they could never do something. You know what I'm saying? I think that has protected me a lot. And I want more black women to move that way, because the things that I see, there are black women still out here blindly trusting. Blindly trusting people when you dropping your kids off, blindly trusting other black women, which unfortunately you can't do either, and definitely not blindly trusting black men. And then there's so many black women, like I said, I'm not trying to tell people that you can't date who you want, but there are so many black women that are mad at black men, which I understand. You get no argument from me on why you feel that way. But to go from black men to start blindly trusting white men, only to get toe tagged by them too, is crazy. You got black women beating white men off dating apps, which I've seen several stories because I'm trying to do something with black femicide. So I've been looking up a lot of these stories. Black women, young black girls meeting white men off of dating apps, going to their house, first meet up, first link up, and getting toe tagged, getting unalived. And it's like, why would you trust him? He's not a threat because he's white tea. Like, I just seen a video on TikTok today of a white tea man threatening to break the teeth out of his girlfriend. He said, look, you ever talk to my brother like that, I'm gonna break your teeth. Like, so it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I really want black women to be more vigilant, more aware. Protect your babies. It's just like, y'all remember the one black lady that met.
Trig,
Oh,
Trig.
oh yeah. Go ahead.
I don't want to, not to interrupt, but I just do want to just mention and speak on that piece that you were talking about with women, having to trust our own judgment. I was just talking to Zora about this because we were talking about kind of like, well, why don't moms, like all single moms, get together, and like help each other raise our kids, blah 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 blah. And I was like, you know what, Zora, I'm gonna be completely honest with you about that. I don't want to defer my judgment or trust to another woman, or specifically, another BOK woman, because we have such a history of like being traumatized and abused and all of these things that I can't trust your judgment, because you're not a good judge of character, or you don't always show the best judgment in certain situations. Even my own personal family members, I have 5 sisters, even my own sisters, even my own mother, even my own stepmother who raised me. Like, I can't defer my judgment to y'all when it comes to my kids. I just can't do that. I can't risk my children's safety on that. And I think that that's what a lot of women, I think, I'll say, as a quote unquote millennial mother, that's something that I struggle with, even when we talk about not having a community or not having a village, is that a lot of times we're kind of the first generation of mothers that really have to kind of raise our own children, because we can't trust our villages or they are not dependable for the safety and the care of our children. We kind of just on our own out here trying to figure it out because our own parents, we can't even trust our own parents to not cause harm to our kids. So it's just really hard, but just like you're saying, it's important. It's so important as a mother that you are exercising that judgment at all times when it comes to your kids.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Coach T. And I just wanted to say that I really do think that Black women really have got to work on, not all of us, of course. Some of us, our discernment is working, but like having discernment to know what decisions to make and what decisions not to make, especially if you're a mother, because it can cause not only your demise, but the demise of your children. And that's what I was about to say. I was gonna say, like, I don't know if anybody remembers that story of the woman that met the guy, another Black woman met a white man off a dating app and moved him in after less than 48 hours, and then went to work and left him with her. I think her daughter was like 4. And then he immediately raped her 4-year-old daughter, and then ended up unaliving the girl and stuffing, like, cleaning wipes down her throat or something like that.
Yep, I was gonna say they found her. She had like cleaning solution all over her body.
Yeah, he ended up being unalive though in prison. So y'all know that he is unalive. Thank goodness they unalived him in prison. They found him unalived in his cell. Yeah, I mean that right there, that desperation to have a man around, that desperation to, like, you really think a man, a white T man that's already not using his white T privilege, because why is you broke and why are you living with me? So a white T man that is already failed as a white T man when the world is literally set up for him and his success, you that desperate and thirsty and low self-esteem having, that you would move him into your home and you would trust him, seeing as though white T men make the largest group of chomos and child predators. Why would you do that? That just doesn't even make any logical sense. And what's unfortunate is her innocent baby girl paid the price. So, like, we really got to work on not being, thirsty, not being desperate, and having some discernment, for goodness sakes. But let me go up here to Miss Chrissy baby, and then Gigi.
Wow, that really just pissed me off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No triggering.
Hey sis.
Um, Man, it's exhausting being a Black woman.
Yes.
I think I've been exhausted since I was a little girl. I don't think I ever really can honestly say I felt protected. I almost felt like I was constantly prey since I was little. I didn't know how to describe it, but I just always felt afraid. My nervous system probably always been just frazzled since I was little. I know that's why I have such a sense of hyper independence, because I just really never had anyone to rely on. And I think that's a lot of Black women's story. Unfortunately, like, we're told we're the least desirable, we're not beautiful, we're not pretty, you're ugly. Depending on, how you look, then you're just only used as an object. Everyone lusts after you. It's just, I know a lot of times we come off really strong and we persevere, but I think sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace to say we're human and have feelings. And if we were to admit, it sucks that nobody loves us and we're not desirable and we're not gonna, whatever, because the goal of the world is to humble us. So what's even worse, you have to, like, suppress real human reaction and emotion to so much abuse from all angles. Like, the women that try to divest, it's just like you said, you might get abused in that situation. So it's just like, I am not, I've been single since 2014. In my 30s, I'm 30, like, I guess that's going on 15 years now. So most of my 30s and 40s, I'll probably be single into my 50s. I can understand, or I can empathize. I don't condone why some Black women just break and say, F it. Like, I don't even care. Just a little piece of a hug or a little piece of a compliment. I'll take it, because I just don't even know what love feel like since I was brought onto this earth. And that's just the sad story for most of us. I just think a lot of times, we recognize we have enough pattern recognition to understand the world is trying to humble us. So we put on our best face and put our heads in the sky and stomp out with our heels like it doesn't bother us. But it almost like we dehumanize ourselves from having actual human feelings. That kind of sucks. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, I got you. I appreciate you, Miss Chrissy, baby, and I definitely agree. Zora, I did send you a request back, sis, because I saw you were in here, but it kept thinking. So I sent you a request, Zora. Let me go up here to Gigi. Go ahead, Gigi.
Hi, Triggered. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so happy to be catching your lives, but I wanted to say that I'm 32 years old. I grew up in Texas, and I was very fortunate to have a father who always taught me never trust anyone, especially men, and keep my head on a swivel. And he would, as a little girl growing up, I would watch him go out of his way to protect women in social situations that were getting that aggression from other men. So me moving to New York after college, I've been here for a few years now. I worked at Insomnia Cookies, and the shift would be like from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So it only would be me a lot of times, me by myself or me and another woman at night dealing with all types of customers. And I cannot tell you the amount of times men would go out of their way to either I'm not sure if I can say this, but sexually harass or make comments, want to and over cookies, like like threaten, and other men in the establishment would not say anything. And I remember looking at them, and at the time, one of them was my boyfriend at the time. I would ask him, why aren't you saying anything to help us out? Why aren't you protecting us? Why aren't you confronting these men that come in the store and see two women at the counter and think that they can say anything else, say anything that they want? I don't understand this. And I'm coming from a place of my father would always stick up like, what is going on here? What is going on here? And just the cowardice, the lack of just solidarity, and me really feeling like I was on my own with the other women in the store. And we would start bringing mace. We would start bringing little pocket, not sure if I can say the word knife, but little pocket knives and stuff to protect ourselves. And especially during the time of COVID, when you had to enforce the face mask, because in New York, they did not play about the face mask. You had to wear one in the establishments at the time. Enforcing that, getting the venom, the vitriol, the hate in eyes. And you would have I would have 6 foot, 6'3", 6'5" men screaming in my face with that aggression. And I'm thinking, I know if I was a white tea girl, they would not be doing that. If I was some other race of woman, they would not be doing that. But they feel so comfortable to confront me, yell at me, scream in my face. I've had to call the cops so many times when I was working there, even during the daytime. And it didn't have to be at night, during after hours where people were drinking. And it was just, although I knew these things, because I've seen these things growing up in Texas and stuff, but especially coming to New York, it was just mind-boggling how back to back it was, how it was like a social experiment almost. And I could always count on, I'm going to get some type of form of aggression, some type of like, I know you really want to hit me, I know you really want to assault me so bad right now. But and it's just crazy. Like, it's just really crazy. And no men, it was always the women in the store, my coworker women, who would stick up for me. We would all stick up for each other, and it was barely ever the men. Barely ever. Ever. So, yeah. And just to cap it off, that when for point number 1, why are BMs quick to buck up against BWs? That it's because they see masculine, we're stereotyped as being masculine. They see us on the same level as men. They want to assault us, want to physically hurt us, emotionally hurt us. And just being able to know and be aware of this, it's honestly so disheartening. Like, it's very, very disheartening. And I can only rely on my sisters, other women, to really speak up and say something. Oh,
All
that's
right.
all.
Okay, I got you. I appreciate you, Gigi. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. But I do think that you sharing your story is very important because it'll just let everyone know that these things aren't isolated incidents. Like this is happening everywhere. Let me go up here to Eve. Go ahead, Eve.
Can I address anyone? I gotta address all.
No, you can do what you would like.
Okay. Okay.
Eve, you there? You dropped. I'll send you another request.
Sorry,
Okay,
I don't know what happened.
okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to do number 3. I absolutely do agree with that, and this is because as I got older, like I'm 19 right now. As I got older, especially when I was 18, and I started to have more independence and go out more. Like that was around the first time I actually started to do my own thing and go out and be my own person. I started a new job and everything like that. Like everything was going good. I've learned that like any race of man, and specifically older men in general, are usually not in your best interest. And it's not meant to generalize or like say that all men are bad or something like that, but I have been harassed, I've been followed, I've been stalked, almost assaulted by every race of man. It's usually Black and Latino men, but there's been a couple white men who, I remember I was 16 actually. I was waiting at the bus stop. I was wearing boots, jeans, and a literal sweater. It was fall time. It was cold. And this white man, he comes up in this white van and he asks like, "Hey, would you like to get in? Would you like to get in?" And I don't know if he thought I was like one of those, one of those women, those prosts. I can't say the word. But I know I was carrying my school bag. I was carrying my backpack. I obviously looked like a 16-year-old girl. And he kept doing it until I finally said something and he ran away. And then I remember when I was 18 one time, because this really scared me, I was coming home. I was either, no, yeah, I was either coming home or going on the bus. I take public transportation a lot. And this man, he was in a white pickup truck, was a Black man. He saw me at the bus stop and he yelled, "Hey." And I ignored him like every other man. I just ignore any random man that says, hey to me or whatever. I was walking back to my house. He does a U-turn, comes back and follows me all the way up until I get to my house. But I was smart. I didn't go actually to my house. I went through like a shortcut because he was, okay, this is the main road. And then this is like, it's like a shortcut through like the woods kind of. I went into the woods right into my house because he was following me. Mind you, he lives in the same neighborhood as me. He lives like far down away, but he lives in the same neighborhood. And he just kept following me. He kept yelling out names. He's like, "You look nice." I was 18 at the time. He was like in his 40s. And he wouldn't stop until I went into that cut in the woods. And then this actually happened this year recently. In February, I was almost assaulted by this drunk man. I remember I was coming home from class and I got on the bus. And this man, he was pretty drunk. At first, I thought he was nice because I was just asking directions. I didn't know if this was my bus or not because, the lights were off. But I got on the bus. I was sitting and he gets up and he starts like tapping me on my shoulder. And, I knew something was off, so I wasn't trying to engage with him. But, he just kept tapping. I kept saying, he kept asking me, "Oh, do you speak Spanish? Do you speak Spanish?" I was like, no, no, no. And, then he kept offering me beer because he was drinking. And I'm not going to take beer from someone, obviously. I'm not going to do that. I don't even drink. But he just wouldn't leave me alone until finally, like, about like 10 minutes after, he finally went back to where he was sitting. Then he started yelling like all this like weird stuff. I honestly think he was also racist, which is weird. He was like, "Oh, F you're Jamaican, F you're Jamaican." First of all, I'm not even Jamaican, but anyway, so I got up, I sat in the front because I knew something was about to pop off. And then like a few minutes later, he comes down to where I'm sitting. He sits right next to me and he starts making like punching motions with his fist. Like he's like punching his palm. And I'm just trying not to engage with him, trying not to pay attention to him. It was only me, the bus driver, and him at this point. And so he kept yelling, he kept screaming. He was like, "Oh, call 911. I don't care what you do. I'll do anything. Call 911." And the bus driver got off because he saw what he was doing, but he didn't get up at first. And he says, "Hey, if you don't stop, she's going to call the police, da, 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 da." And so he sits back down. He's quiet. My mom is waiting at the bus stop for me because I was on the phone with her. And I get off. And it turns out as soon as I got off, he went to punch the bus driver. The bus driver has two black eyes. It was all over the news. It was crazy. It just makes me scared because like if I stayed on that bus longer, that probably would have been me because he was getting all up in my face. He was trying to punch me. He was trying to assault me. And this is not the first time this happened. I've been like, men have just been so gross and creepy to me of all races. I've been catcalled. One time, this homeless man, I was on the bus. This happened twice actually. I had to get my brothers involved. He's not allowed. So my mom works at a social service, and he's homeless, so he goes there. He was like 20 years old. I was 18. He kept trying to kiss me. I was just sitting. I was coming back home from work, and he was like, you look good. You look good. Can I take you out? Can I take you out? I said no, obviously, but just trying to be nice, because I don't know how he would react. But he kept trying to kiss me. He kept kind of trying to kiss me, and it turns out he had a criminal charge. He was a criminal, and he's not allowed like at the social service my mom works at. He has to go somewhere else because he's been acting up and just been acting up. So yeah, this is not the first time I've been preyed on. I've been offered like by older men if I want to smoke. It's just gross. I remember I was on the bus too one time. This man, he thought I was 14 and he still tried to get my number. So it's just like I'm just so tired of just men just being nasty to me. I hate that, we have to like, because I don't want to escalate a situation. So I just always try to be nice or just ignore, but then they take that as like, like an invitation. And this is why I just don't like, I'm sorry, I just don't really trust older men like that of all races. Like I've had nothing but bad experiences with them. And I look kind of young in the face already. So I just know they're being pedophilic. Like I know they're being weird. And every time I'm just thinking like hey, how old are you? How old are you? I'm just like, you obviously know I'm not as old as you. That's why you have to ask. You obviously know that. So just stop it. And yeah, I just don't trust them. So I say don't trust men of any race, honestly. Like they're all weird, they're all creepy. Just always keep your guard on as a black woman.
All
So
right,
that's
all right. I got you. I
So,
got you.
Eve, do you still take the bus and stuff?
yes, I do still take public transportation.
Okay. What do you use? What methods do you have for you to protect yourself?
I did have pepper spray, but my dumbass lost
Mm-hmm.
it, so now I don't have
Mm-hmm.
anything. My mom, she doesn't know that I lost the pepper spray because she brought me it. So honestly, I don't really have anything.
You should. Well, you should tell your mom because as a mom, I would be more aggravated that you don't have what you need than having to replace it. So I will absolutely tell your mom, and you can get, yeah, like Zora said, you can get bear spray and you can get gel too. The gel is even better because they say it like stick. They say it like stick to them. But yeah, I'm sorry you have to go through that because I was a child of public transportation. I used to walk everywhere, take the bus everywhere, and take the train everywhere. But I know it's getting harder and harder. But yeah, girl, go tell your mama you need some more spray.
Yeah,
Stop
I
playing.
definitely will. I feel so bad. She paid like $20 for it because they don't sell it in New York
It don't
like Long
matter.
Island. They don't
It
really
don't.
sell
It
it.
don't matter.
So,
It don't matter. I'm in New York State too. It don't matter. She ain't gonna care about that little $40 that she got to spend to keep you safe. I promise you. She might complain like, "Why did you lose this?" But she gonna get you another one because she wants you to be safe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Coach T, for sure, for sure. You should definitely do that, Eve. And if for some reason she can't get it, then just come back here and I'll cash app you the money and then you can get it
oh, you
yourself.
don't have to do that.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. I'm so sorry. I didn't. No,
Uh
I don't want you to do that.
oh
But
no,
thank
that's very
you.
important though.
Thank
Like
you.
it's real important for you, Eve. Let me go up here to Miss La.
Yeah, because even then, Eve, you'll feel more comfortable because a lot of times men are predatory, so they know who to prey on. So a lot of times you feel more comfortable and more confident having the spray on you, and that'll kind of ward them off. You won't be giving off like kind of a vulnerable energy. When you have that spray on you, you're gonna feel like, oh, I want somebody to try me. And then that's the time they not gonna try you. Because you're gonna like be confident and you're gonna be secure about it.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, you guys. All right, let me go up here just to Mrs. La. Go ahead. Go ahead, sis, Miss La Mejor.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hey, I'm excited to be on here. I listen to you every morning. Um, to answer your question about, I agree with number three. don't trust any race of men. I'm too from New York, and one day I was riding the L train in my younger days. I was about 24, because after I had my daughter, a Hispanic dude, he was crazy in the eyes. I was at like the last stop on the L train, and like he physically tried to like grab me off the train, but that day it was a man on the train and he like tore him off of me. But when we got like when it was the last stop, it was police standing out there, so they kind of like grabbed him up as well. But I was really really scared that day, and like that was really scary for me. But also I wanted to answer the question where it says how to protect yourself as a black woman. I would say um as black women to study different personality traits of men. I do believe a lot of them, especially black men, have like things be wrong with them, and they don't go to the doctor. Like they don't go to the doctor, so they don't know it. They be psychopathic, schizophrenic, and because they don't go to the doctor, stuff be wrong with them. And black women, they don't know things be wrong with these men, and then they snap and they kill them. I watch a lot of crime shows, and a lot of the men suffer from things that they don't know, and they snap and they kill a lot of women. And I feel like if women studied these things, they could know the signs to look out for to protect themselves from men, because men, to me, they're very dangerous and very harmful. So that's just what I wanted to say.
All right, all right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Zora, I'm waiting for Zora to go. Okay, there you go, Zora. You there, Zora? Did you have something to say?
I did. I didn't know LA was finished. Am I here?
Yeah. Yes,
Can
you
you?
done. Uh-huh.
You know what? You know what? I haven't really moved past fully like I don't the the cult that came in here when you were talking about that man with the tattoos on his face and how that type of energy looks physically to what Coach T was saying. Hey everybody, by the way. Just how much PR BOK men have run against BOK women, and how women who were trying to say, oh, well, that has nothing to do with me and I'm exceptional from that, and well, I'm not that kind of BOK woman they're talking about. They're making the block hot for everybody. That is actually what's happening. They're wanting to take the target off of them in this climate that we're in, as this thing that we are used to is failing and falling, this capitalistic empire, and they're putting it on BOK women specifically. We don't give them enough credit for how crafty they are. They have to survive because they cannot survive without us. And by that, I mean they do not give birth. So males, period, have to figure out how to be perpetual toddlers, which is convince their parents that whatever they're doing is necessary for them to pay attention to. So I'm just like tying it together, like the climate online, the virtual signaling, the nasty rhetoric, and the fact that other groups of men see us as easy targets. It's not disconnected, because I know we're going to number 3, and number 3 is important because it is any man. But particularly BOK women are targeted specifically because the group of men who are quote unquote in our community make sure everybody knows that it's WAR time for us specifically. And it's just blowing my mind, like just the young woman who was up here sharing her stories, like the multiple stories she went through, maybe like it felt like 7-8 stories of men accosting her. And I'm not even going to go over either Coach T saying that there's an energy that you have to represent. And the more you protect yourself, which is number 4, the less there's something to that. They feel less inclined because they do sense. I don't know if it's pheromone sense. I don't know if it's just aura, energetic sense. They sense when they can push up their shape into yours without any proper defense. And BOK women are not, I'm sorry, we are not doing a good enough job to figure out how to keep our daughters specifically in reality without making them completely fear-based. And that's not an easy task, which is why I really appreciate both you and Coach T addressing the energy of the young woman to say, no, get some, this is not just talk. It's not just rhetoric. No, we want you to be safe for real. So I just want to add that piece. Like, it's just like, it just connected to my brain how much they make sure that their words actually have impact. They're not speaking for no reason. They're not saying be okay, women are the I've seen so many, especially after that white wigger passed away, Charles Kirkland. I've seen so many be okay men say be okay women were the reason for it. It's not disconnected. They know this climate is making them more and more tree ornaments, and they're making sure that be okay women are going to feel not only scared of them, but other men know that, okay, if you have a fight or you feeling itchy or unhinged or patriarchy is failing you, or you realize capitalism is not allowing you to have a gate, a ramp up to income, you take it out on these people over here. That's what they're doing. So I just want us to connect it, because I've seen too many BOK women come into spaces where BOK women are being talked about, down, degraded, dehumanized, and saying, being on stages with these men and saying, oh, okay, where you want me to swing like that story you shared. It's just disgusting that we're not drawing the parallel. That's it. That's all I want to say.
All right,
And
all
number
right.
5 is every day, all day. Every day, all day.
I appreciate you, Zora. I'm gonna tell you, I wanted to stay away from the conversation, like you were talking about, like when I put, who up there, his school marked up face on my page. I actually was flabbergasted, and I've already said it, but I was really taken aback by that. I have talked about pick me women. I done got into it with the real Jane. I done made exposed videos about her. I done got into it with Janine Just a Girl. Even when I had got into it with Janine Just a Girl, they had a live where they talks about somebody knew somebody in the FBI, and they was gonna find me and dox me and find my family, because how dare I say the things that Janine Just a Girl was saying, the rhetoric when she had a video, and she put in the little header that she outlined, and she said black women are the meanest, nastiest, ugliest, disrespectful people. That really made me upset, and so I decided to do a video about her. And then she went online and had all of these people in this live talking about me and saying that they was gonna dox me and find me and all of this other stuff. And I wasn't even tripping about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know pick-me's have a lot of backing here in the black community. But I will tell you, I was actually flabbergasted about the support that man had. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. I said, this is a man that's a felon, clearly admitted felon, tattoos all over himself, looking exactly like what type of person he really is in the inside. And I was flabbergasted that I got so much pushback from black women, from black men, that the energy was that I was the enemy and that they wanted to rip me to pieces. And like I said, I know that the black community has problems. I know that, we as black women, we're not perfect. I don't choose to focus on the negatives of black women. People can say that I'm trying to whatever black women. I don't care. I choose to focus on mostly positive. Of course, sometimes I talk about negative things, but I try the best to focus from black women on a positive lens. But I will tell you that knocked me on my behind. It really did. It blew me. It had me get out of character when the one guy came up and said, like, threaten my life, threaten my family life, said all this crazy stuff, and I wouldn't even say what I was about to say about him. I find out a lot of stuff about him behind the scenes, and it really blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? It let me know that there is definitely and I tried to tell black women this a long time ago, because when I say black men are stupid or whatever, like about like the literacy rate and things like that, I want this to be clear here. Black men may not be on the educational level that black women are on. They may not have the vocabulary that black women have. But black men are far more diabolical, far more dangerous, and just like Zora used the word crafty than black women are, period. They have definitely managed to somehow switch the narrative, even though everything on paper shows that they are the problem, to the crime rate, to who's getting incarcerated, to who's going to school and who ain't. to who's beating the brakes off of people who ain't, who's making the single mothers, who's not marrying really because men are in charge of marriage, that they're marrying the least. All of these things they've managed to somehow switch to put it on black women. Yet black women are still out here being their main publicists and uplifters and protectors and defenders and all of that. And why black women still pour into them, they are actively destroying the image of black women everywhere and also making other races of men feel comfortable to do whatever, however, whenever they want to us. And that to me is actually terrifying. And I don't know if people don't understand that that's what they're doing. I literally saw a live 3 days ago and I was busy, so I couldn't do a response live to it, to where it said black women are the meanest, most disrespectful. Black women are bald headed. That's why they wear wigs. Why can't black women have a man or keep a man? It was just a whole bunch of different stereotypical tropes up there. And the live was filled with black men and white women and white men as well. There were a couple spots for white men as well. And I tell you what, and it was like one white Hispanic male. They were talking about black women like we are animals. And I know for a fact with the way that I got that response, if I talked to when I talked about, cartel, if I talked about black men in that way, they would have been trying to look for my IP address. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's why I wanted to have the live today, because I really think that black women really are not as scared as they should be. Because there's a change coming, and I believe that with all of this stuff that's going on with Trump, and there's a crescendo that's going to happen. And I really feel like, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody or anything, but I really do believe that a lot of us are not as scared as we should be. A lot of us, like the young girl that was up here, Eve, that, she lost her pepper spray, but she's afraid to tell her mom. Like, if she really truly thought that tomorrow would be possibly her last day on earth, she would tell her mom, right? I think that we have to walk through this world thinking that way, because it's that serious. I don't know.
No,
Maybe I should start
it's
telling
that
people.
serious.
Yes, and I think I
No,
should just start
my
telling people.
sister,
I just want
my
to say one
sister
thing real quick.
carries.
I just want to say
Okay.
one more thing, and then I'm gonna shut up. I just wanted to say I think I should start showing people the messages that I receive about people poking me up, eviscerating me, that I should be great, that they're gonna find me somewhere and unalive me while my husband watches and I think maybe some of y'all should see some of the things that I experience on a regular basis from people, and then maybe that will let people know how serious it is. It's super serious. But go ahead,
Yes.
Coach T, and then I'll go up there to
Yes.
super villain.
I was just gonna say that it is that serious, and I'm in a state where open carry is not legal, so you have to go through a process and you got to be licensed and all this stuff. But I know a close family member of mine who is licensed to carry and concealed carry, and I make sure I ask her every time she leave the house. You got that thing? Make sure you have that thing on you. You don't want today to be the day that you don't have it on you and you need it.
All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Coach T. Let me go up here to super villain. Go ahead, sis.
Hey, what's up, panel? This is such always great conversation. I want to speak to number one and number two specifically. So number one, and I've said this before, I noticed that black men will particularly go to a job where they do the same work. Well, the ones who are unemployed anyway, will go to a job and do the same work as their counterparts and be underpaid. That paycheck where they're underpaid, they will take it to maybe a establishment, and in that establishment they're followed around like a little mouse, or like they're being hunted, and they'll spend that little underpaid paycheck, or they'll go to a place and get a service, and the microaggressions they get and the people talking a foreign language about them, they'll be so fine and okay and quite content with that disrespect. But let a black woman come online and just talk about her experience, which her experience more likely would be with a black man, because black women are more loyal to black men. And you should see, I know y'all been in the lives where you hit, Drake just said it, the vitriol. the utter hate and resentment that they have for Black women for just telling their stories and their experiences. Meanwhile, they've been dealing with disrespect all mother effing day long, and they decide to open their mouth. Oh, everybody else can disrespect me, but a Black woman will never be able to tell the truth about me. That's where I draw the line. These Black men are so ridiculous. And I just want to remind Black women that it is literally not you. They're in a position where they want power, but they don't want to do the work. So what happens is the one people they can punch down on are Black women. They're not going to go against other groups of men, and they may leave the other women baby mamas, but they ain't going upside their head like they going upside Black women's head, because they know the effect. They know they will be strange fruited by other groups of men if they ever try that nonsense. But when it comes to Black women, they know they can punch down on Black women because they're supposed to be the one protecting the community, and they're wreaking the havoc. And the Black men who are supposed to help, they're afraid of these other Black men who are causing the havoc. That's why it's so easy for them to punch down on Black women. They know no one else is going to step in, and they know they can't do it to anybody else. They don't want real power. That's why they don't go against other men. They just want to punch down on women. They want to have a footstool. They don't want to be on top. They just don't want to necessarily be all the way at the bottom. And they put Black women at the bottom and want Black women to stay at the bottom because they need somebody to punch on. Because if Black women started getting it together and started rising and leaving these men alone, they will have no one to punch down on. They will have no excuse. They'd have to do better. But they won't, because they have somebody to step on, which is Black women. Number two, I personally, as somebody who also is a New Yorker, I heard a lot of New York people in here. Is in the house. Holla. Um, oh God, I just aged myself. Sorry about that. I just want to say this. My daughter particularly is in high school. She's a little cute thing. She's not even 100 pounds soaking wet. That is something I always worry about. Um, I actually had to change her school to my younger brother's school. They're around the same age. Listen, that's a long story. Don't worry about that. I had a baby young. But anyway, I did that just so that she can have some type of safety, because obviously my brother is younger, but he's a teenager boy. He's gonna be bigger. I just recommend the mothers who are worried about things like that. Like, I did get my daughter pepper spray. It was taken away from her at school. So now I gave her a spray bottle of alcohol. Like, they're not gonna take that away because she has gym. That's considered as a cosmetic. You can even put like little red pepper or cayenne pepper in it. Also, watching things like true crime. I watch true crime with my daughter once a week just to teach her about being aware of her surroundings. Traveling in groups is a big thing as well. And damn, there was one more tip. I let my daughter know, if anything, nature prevent anything happens, you don't go without a fight. You make sure you take an ear, uh, a piece of cheek, a finger, something with you. So I know that sounds so morbid, but it's unfortunate that we have to teach our girls how to protect themselves instead of teach our boys or men to stop being predators, but that's where we are now. And I think I'm gonna yield there. Thank you.
All right, I got you. I got you, super villain. I appreciate you, sis. Let me go up here to. Oh wait, what'd you say, Lachey?
Can I
You're
add something?
Yeah. I can go ahead and then I'll go up there to Manny. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be quick. I did want to pivot back to what you said about sharing some of the stories or some of the comments that you receive from people, because, like you said, we're not scared enough, or we're not angry enough to actually do something. Because if these men were afraid that we would put one between their eyes, they would think twice. They would think twice. So I think it's really important that we see the ugly in its ugliest form. So that way, in us, it'll build up a better defense of how we're to handle certain things like this. But I think if we are all aware of the severity of and the damage that, Black men can cause to us, we should be better equipped. We should be better equipped to handle that. But I just wanted to add that is important. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, I got you, Lashane. I actually used to do like a series where I would expose a lot of the posts and comments and videos and stuff that they post in the Kevin Samuels groups and the Red Pill groups. And then I stopped doing that because if y'all want to know, it was very hard on me mentally. The things that they would say, I was just to even to see it and then just to put it in videos, it was really really rough. It was real rough for me to do it. But I'll start doing it for you guys because I think that not enough of us are aware. Okay, so let me go up here to Manny. Go ahead, Manny.
Hi, ladies. How are you guys doing? Can
Hey.
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much, first of all, for this live. I saw this on my For You page, and definitely for number one, I feel like people who do not possess power, they do everything to try to control those who have it innately. So, yeah, Black women, we are very powerful. A lot of things do not move or run without us, without our energy. And so, those within our community and otherwise who do not want us to rise into our power, who do not want the shift that is already happening to happen, that's why they attack and they go for us because as many people on the panel have said, they see us as an easy target because we are not properly protected through the system as well as our own community. So that's why they feel that they can rise against us because no one's going to say anything. It's easier. Our power is currency. Exactly. Yes. Our power is currency. And they know that. And it's not only Black men that know that, it's the world that knows that. And so I feel like there is a shift happening. There are more Black women waking up. But with the way that things are shifting, we need a lot more of us to step into that power quickly. It's like an urgency, even more than before. How to protect yourself as a Black woman. I think it was Miss Law who said to study up on the personalities. I would definitely agree on that. You cannot fight against or protect yourself from what you do not know. So I am also in a lot of groups. I'm in groups that are talking about the Black femicide. So every time there's a case, that's something that happens to a Black woman, Black child, a Black female child, that there's a post about it. And so it's kind of always in my awareness of the danger and just what we are actually up against and how a lot of our cases, a lot of the things that happen to us go unheard. And so we have to do our own due diligence. I think learning about cluster B personalities, learning about Darvo, abuser tactics, studying up on the statistics of abuse within our community, because I feel like that gets downplayed a lot. The sexual abuse, the violence, the intergenerational things as well. I think learning about it and arming yourself is important. Taking physical defense classes, pew pew classes, getting your license to conceal carry if that's possible for you. That's definitely vital for the times that we're headed in. Also protecting yourself in other ways too. Hone in on your spiritual practices, connecting to your ancestors, honing in on your intuition and your awareness. There are women that are a lot of our women in our community are still dismantling a lot of things, but they are severely traumatized. So they are still praying to a male god, for example. They're um, still basing their worth on a man and what they can do. So it has to start with you being aware of who is a pick me that's around me, because I can't trust you. I'm not going to trust my kids around you. I'm not going to have my guard down around you if I can help it. Who in your family or friends or in your surrounding area who is okay with being associated with abusers, with toxic people who don't are morally bereft, who don't have a good character. Yeah, I'm not going to be around you because my association next to you is putting me in danger and is putting other Black women in danger. Um, yeah, so I think arming ourselves with knowledge of how people move in this world is so important, especially with family too. Do not be afraid to cut people off in your family if they are abusers themselves or if they excuse the abuse that happens to you. Um, yeah, like that's a big thing. People will set you up And there will be women that won't even think twice about the harm that they bring to you, all due to wanting the validation or a head pat from a man. So yeah, cutting those people off. That's another way to protect yourself. Yeah, taking defense classes, like I said. I would definitely say, just overall, everybody that spoke on the panel, they're definitely bringing up some really good points. I'm learning a lot by listening and being in the live. But I just wanted to say that, people, men don't care, and we know this. And expecting other women who aren't on our same wavelength to care is also kind of futile. They have to wake up themselves. A good book that I would recommend for us Black women, especially to read, is Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. And it's a man, and he works with male abusers of all races, and he breaks down the reasoning. Like, you get into the mind of these men and why they do what they do, and how to navigate, how to protect yourself and work around them. Because the system, there's a justice system. There's just layers to it of things that kind of facilitate, their behavior. Why there's Black male repeated offenders. There's a reason for that. They want that to be so there could be more harm done to our community, because again, they don't care about us. So I would say that also watching true crime, that's important. You will watch a documentary of Black women who survived serial killers, who survived serial rapists, and just were kidnapped or went through something traumatic, and learn from them. Listen to their stories and what they did not listen to themselves, what they how they got out of those situations. I think real life examples are going to be your best bet. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, all right. I got you. I appreciate you, Manny. Let me go down here. Supervillain said she has something to say.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna make it short. A couple more points came up, but first I had wanted to just piggyback off what I believe is on the bottom. Jesus, it looks like Jesus. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Uh,
Lachey.
okay, I apologize. You made a statement that was so interesting to me because you said that you don't think that I don't know, as women, but as Black women, we're not afraid enough. And it's funny, not haha, but funny weird. I was just having a conversation on another panel saying, we've discovered that men do all these atrocious things, like we know about the monitor lizard and Pony the orangutan, and the group chat with the 70,000 men who are trading tips how to like assault the women in their lives and the girls in their lives, and so on and so forth. Every day we come up and there's a new story, something more horrible than the next. And I remember asking just the panel in general, what is it going to take for the line to be drawn in the sand for us as women and as a collective? Like, what is the line that men have not crossed yet, where we're like, you know what? Nah, we just cannot deal with y'all on a collective level. Like, when are we all going to agree what is going to be that thing? Because I'm pretty sure the men have crossed that line a long time ago. We just haven't found out yet. But I just wanted to know, just in general, like, what is the line where we're all going to be on a panel one day and be like, you know what, we're just not going to mess with them anymore? So being afraid, or we're not afraid enough, I don't necessarily know, because we've been hearing some terrible things that I've been afraid of personally, but we still continue on. So I don't know about that. I also want to also bring up, that's another reason why male centered women, specifically pick me's, are so very dangerous, because these dangerous things, these bad stories we hear that men do, they are okay with it. Like, they don't think it's something that should stop their male worship, right? They feel like men are entitled to do these terrible things to women and children. And this is why I said pick me women specifically are very dangerous, because there are women who are male centered and it will have nothing to do like with your life. They'll just be doing for a man and harming themselves. But when they start bringing children into it, like those women who date men that know they're offenders, and by the end of the relationship the child is done something terrible, that is dangerous. Or the women that will do anything to get a man's validation, that she'll set her own sister up just so she can get a smile from a nigga, that's dangerous, right? So I just want to throw that up up there. And then there was one more thing, Manny. I loved everything you said. There's one thing I'm gonna contend with, which is something I tell women all the time when we're on panels and do these certain questions. I don't ever, never investigate degeneracy. If I know something's degenerate, I'm gonna move accordingly. I don't need to know the why, the when, the how. If, like, for example, if a man is a felon, all I need to know is that he's a felon and I'm navigating accordingly. I don't need to know that he's a multiple offender. I don't need to know that his mama was a smackhead and beat him up when he was little. Once I see felon, like, I don't know if you've been here before, but once we realize a dude is a felon on the panel, he is dropped immediately. So that's what I mean about women navigating. Like, we don't need to investigate the why, because the why will never stop the abuse. It won't ever stop the degeneracy. It just makes us spend more time when we should be navigating away from that degenerate individual. I think I'm gonna go there. Thank you.
I agree, super villain. I just meant more of the symptoms. Like a lot of people, like even though I feel like it's a shift, but even mental illness, like I grew up where some people in my family be like, "Oh, he's just crazy. He just got anxiety. He don't know. He just got anger issues." No, that person is abusive. That person is dangerous. So naming something and knowing like, no, that person's a psychopath. That person is a sociopath. There are black women still that don't know that they're being narcissistically abused. They're just like, "Oh, he just kind of rough," or, that's just how they are. No, that's not. Like, I definitely agree. Like, getting too caught up in the why really prevents you from actually taking action and moving accordingly, and we should. But I feel like there are still women in our community that I guess they don't have a grasp. They don't know the flags. They kind of just be like, "Oh, that's just how they are." Maybe through trauma, I don't know, but that's not just how they are. They're choosing. There's a difference between you were born that way, you're making a choice to harm. There If you're being harmed, you still need to move accordingly. And I feel like because they excuse it or they don't know, then, yeah, someone said in the comments being groomed, like I guess even knowing the signs of being groomed, like the sexual abuse rates in our community, like they think that's something that other cultures do or that happens outside the home. No, you have to watch and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying we have to watch the how we can get into cognitive dissonance. It's not your man that's great. He could still have a great job, be clean, be smart, and still be an abuser, still be a rapist, still touch your niece or do something. You know what I mean? Like you still have to keep your head on a swivel. And because we don't have the knowledge and they don't know what to look for, they excuse it. And they I don't know. I think it's just the grooming and they're not aware.
Okay. All
Can
right.
I just say real quick? You know what? That to that point, I actually agree, and I'm one who said a lot of the time that crimes against children, specifically in the Black community, are underreported, and we also don't give our children the language, um, or the space to validate what happened to them. So I can definitely agree to you on that point. Thank you.
All right, you guys. I just wanted to say, I don't know if anybody believes in things on a spiritual level or not. I know we all are of different belief systems, but I'll just say I do believe that there is something demonic circling around black women, and a lot of it is coming from not only black men but also some black women as well. And I really don't like to say that, like I said, told you guys earlier, because I do try to focus on the positive regarding black women. But honestly, like I said, just like Zora was talking about during that live, the energy that I received from black women as well, of course not all, but black women as well, was also very demonic, dark energy. And it really shocked me to see that type of energy being directed to me on the behalf, mind you, of a felonious Pookie that does nothing but make lies that degrade and dehumanize black women. And I think that another thing that we have to address is that when you as a black man or even as a black woman, like a black pygmy woman, and I don't even like to use that word because I don't feel like it's strong enough, severe enough. But when you make content that dehumanizes black women, you put black women and black girls' lives in jeopardy. Because when you don't look at something as human, it makes it way more easy for you to do inhumane, ungodly, shocking things. It's the same way that white people made themselves be okay with doing horrible things to black children, black babies, black women, black mothers, black men, everybody, because they lied to them and lied to themselves and said, "Oh, these people aren't human. They're less than human. They're not, so I can do whatever I want because they're not even human beings." So once you start dehumanizing a group of people, that leads you right down the road of being able to do literally anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. The most psychotic, the most diabolical, the most destructive, the most horrific things of all time you can do to those people because you don't even think that they're human beings. They're not even on the level of a dog or a cat or some type of animal that you would respect. So, in my opinion, those type of people are dangerous. And I really did feel like right now there's some type of demonic attack going on against black women. I don't know if we're on the precipice of something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know all of it. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy. Because I do have like extreme thoughts on what I think it is, but I'll save it for later. But I definitely think that there's something going on here. Something nefarious is going on right now, and I am deeply disturbed by it. And like I said, as I don't know what part I'm to play in it. Like I don't know if everybody believe in God or not, but I do pray to God, and I do say, hey, what part am I meant to play in here? I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing that I can do, and I'm not misleading anybody or saying nothing crazy. But I do believe something crazy going on. I really do, because this is not normal. This is not normal. You can't be a black woman and see the things that you see and still get behind the people that are setting you up to be essentially unalived and put in the dirt. Like I'm gonna wrap this live up, but I think Zora, you have something to say, sis?
Yeah, real quick. I wish you could tell us what it rhymes with, what you sense, but it's what I sensed in that live that I was telling you about. That I even was like, that was a pivot to me. I can energetically, it was a pivot. And I think too, a number of things I've been thinking since Supervillain and Manny were having that conversation. But the part, since you're about to wrap it up, I just want to say too that maybe part of it is the part that's the care part too, the defense. But the fact that so many people, again, I already told you in your DMs, like responded to you and how you take care of yourself. It took me a minute to learn that I was part of the community, like that I wasn't just to do work, that I was to be poured into too, that I was also a black woman. So my fierce protection and passion for black women included me. So I'm hoping that you're considering that without any pressure. But I do see that that could be part of it, is how you can be financially poured into while you help walk other black women through walking, what to eat, intermittent fasting, taking care of the body, self-care, because it's connected to protection.
I'm sorry, I had to mute
That's a
myself.
great
I
point.
Oh yeah, just one second. I just want to say I appreciate you so much for saying that, Zora. I will say one thing, and people notice that there's something that I'm doing differently. And I'm trying not to do it as often. But before I would really let black women really get smart with me and talk to me crazy. And I would try my best, unless they like super violated, to not say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be like, it's a black woman at the end of the day. I want to have respect for all of my black women, all of my sisters. I want to not be a hypocrite and actually live the way that I'm speaking and pour life into black women most of the time, no matter what. And even if there's an interchange, try not to really go hard like I do, against, like I do with the men. Cause y'all know I really be tearing up these dudes. But after I saw, I hate to keep saying this, but after I saw how it was so many black women that I saw really did not look at me that way, that I was looking at them in that way. I just felt like moving forward, like Am I going to give you that grace if I know that you're the type of black woman that wouldn't do the same for me? I don't know. And that's why a couple of times came out of pocket a little bit with some women that have been in the chat, because it's just like, I know you wouldn't do that for me, so I don't know. I don't know if I can really keep doing that, because it weighs on my spirit. So that's what I was saying when you were talking about pouring into yourself and realizing you're a black woman too. That's what I was thinking. Like, it's like, I actually deserve for this to be a safe space for me too. And yeah, and yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. But let me go down here to Coach T, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But go ahead, Coach T.
You know what? That is a great point, and that's something we definitely gotta reconnect on figuring out the format for that, like intermittent fasting and stuff, and getting our health and our wellness together. Because one thing that be so funny to me that I always mention to women just in general is about being able to physically defend yourself, and not being hyperbolic, or, well, what about women in wheelchairs, or what about women with disabilities? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about able-bodied women who we are just not taking care of ourselves. Like, how you gonna run for your life and you can't run, boo? Like, you can't break out in a full sprint at any moment. Like, you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's something that is actually, I think, imperative to our health and our wellness, but also to our survival. Like, you got to be in shape. If somebody see that you in shape, they'll probably be less likely to try you. But also, they can't out survive you if you're taking care of yourself. And it's so funny because I have a family member who is actually she competes in bodybuilding, and she's always sending me like health and wellness stuff. She sent me a video today that was about that specific thing, and saying, the one way you can outdo your competition is just by being in better shape than them. Like, just simply by being healthier than them, you can outdo your competition, or outdo somebody trying to prey on you. Because if I can run, or if I can ball my fist up and knock the daylights out of you as hard as I can, that's gonna take a little dip off of your chip, if you understand what I'm saying. And so, yes, absolutely, that health and wellness piece. Also, be okay, women. This morning I was doing my little body work, my somatic practices. I got one of those vibration plates. I know y'all been seeing them on the TikTok shop. I got one of those vibration plates. I have I have one of those shoulder massagers, like those types of activities to help you release those things from your body, release those trauma, taking your baths, making sure that you taking care of your body. Because as much as the stress and the trauma and all of that stuff can affect us mentally, it's affecting us physically as well. So be sure that you want to take care of your body, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, staying hydrated. Because if not for anything else, if you're a mother, you got to make sure you're around for your kids. I knew I had to get my life together when I couldn't run on the playground with my son. I said, this is ridiculous. Let me get my stuff together. So if anything, at least make sure that your physical fitness and health and wellness is intact, and that'll help a lot, I think, for us as Black women with our mental health as well.
All right. I got you, Coach T. I think Supervillain has something to say real quick. Go ahead, sis.
Yes, I'm to hold you up. I just wanted to just bring to attention that the only thing you did wrong, which is the cardinal sin in the Black community, is that you protected yourself and you defended yourself. I just wanted to let the people know who weren't aware of what happened that day that it wasn't even about him that we were discussing. It was more about Black women's behavior and acceptance of him. And that's what we do over here. And we don't necessarily bash Black men. We say to what they do and Black women's behavior to it and try to change it. And that's the crazy thing. All they saw was a Black man. They didn't see that the topic was about changing the behavior. So I just wanted to just throw that out there, because you are so adamant about that, and people miss the message. Because once you see a good man Savannah or Tyrone or a felon, they have tunnel vision. That was all. Thank you, Trick.
All right, no problem. I appreciate all of you guys. If you guys don't take anything from that we said today, just please, if you can make some type of steps to protect yourself on some level, like we said, getting yourself some type of personal protection. I'm trying to use code words, things, sprays, something to protect yourself, or a pew pew, whatever you can do right now at this exact moment. If you are unprotected at this exact moment, even do the most minute thing, but something, because we are in a situation of, I don't want to say the W word that ends with R, but it is something akin to that. And we have to move that way, because if you wait until you need something to realize that you need it, that's going to be too late. That's going to be too late. So you need to, just like Coach T said, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So, but yeah, you guys. All right. I love you guys. I might try to come back later today, but if I can't, I'll definitely try to come back tomorrow. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of
Thanks,
y'all week.
Trig. Did you see my message? Where's my
No,
message
no,
me
I
back?
didn't. I didn't. If I did, I would have
Okay.
responded. I'll check as soon as I get out of here.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you
Bye,
guys
Trig.
later.
Love you. Thank you.
I love y'all.